Salah will be a Liverpool icon and Sarri was right about Kante. The Premier League threw up plenty of the usual talking points and drama over the weekend. Saturday delivered plenty of cheer for Liverpool, who thrashed Bournemouth 4-0 to dislodge leaders Manchester City, who failed to reclaim top spot when they lost 2-0 at Chelsea. Here, AMITAI Winehouse assesses 10 things we learned from the latest weekend of the Premier League season. 1. It is always difficult to talk about the historical significance of a player at a club as storied as Liverpool, but Mohamed Salah is marking himself out as a potential icon. His opening goal at Bournemouth was his 40th in 52 Premier League appearances for Liverpool, which is faster than any other player who has hit that landmark. It took Fernando Torres 60 games, and they still speak of El Nino in his pomp in glowing terms on Merseyside. Even better, he added 2 more on the day. The second, in particular, was a sublime finish, while his dribble for his third had flashes of Lionel Messi in it. And the Argentinian is the only player to have scored more than him in Europe since last season began. 2. Maurizio Sarri needed a moment from N'Golo Kante to justify to the world at large what he has been doing with him positionally. His strike against Manchester City was it. That shift to the right side of midfield has actually been working reasonably well. The issue is that Jorginho's problems with defending immediately placing question marks over Kante's role. Take Jorginho out of the equation though and the numbers look good for Kante in his new position. His 2 goals and 2 assists this campaign are equal to his tallies for the last 2 seasons at Chelsea, or 69 games. He can work there. 3. Pep Guardiola must hate facing Chelsea. After Saturday's defeat, there is no team in world football that has beaten him more times in the league. They have now won against his Manchester City side 3 times in the 3 seasons he has been in a Premier League. They took away his unbeaten start at Stamford Bridge and inflicted important losses in his first season too. Last season no victory at the ground marked City out as something special. This campaign it shows they aren't simply going to sweep everyone aside in the way most watchers assumed. 4. Juan Mata has never exactly been a Jose Mourinho player. He cast him aside at Chelsea and there were doubts over whether he'd be integrated at Manchester United. But whenever United have played well this season, Mata has tended to play a key part. Against Fulham he provided a goal and assist to become the 3rd Spaniard in Premier League history to manage 50+ in both categories. It is not obvious, but in reality there are few players who are more important to United doing well than the diminutive midfielder. 5. Arsenal have not been this consistent for over a decade, and while they will likely not win the league this season, at least Unai Emery has brought an improvement in mentality. Their 21 games unbeaten in all competitions is the longest run they have posted since November 2007. And players like goalscorer Lucas Torreira, a huge upgrade on other defensive midfielders of the past, make a big difference. They have also managed to turn those tight games into wins. There were only 2 shots on target against Huddersfield. Arsenal just managed to put theirs in. 6. It is really easy to forget just how young Dele Alli is. He burst onto the collective consciousness with that display in MK Dons League Cup win against Manchester United and took no time to settle after moving to Spurs. But it is really incredible to note that at just 22 years old, he has scored 50 goals for Tottenham Hotspur. He's a midfielder too, and his record since 2015-16 is only bettered by Harry Kane and Jimenez's son. That is nothing short of exceptional. After 3 full seasons, Frank Lampard had 30 goals in all competitions for Chelsea. Ali is already miles ahead of one of the Premier League's best ever midfielders. 7. If it wasn't clear before their win at Newcastle, this Wolves vintage are unique in the Premier League era. They have had a dip but responded to it like a good team should. Their victory on Sunday was the 6th they have managed in their opening 16 games. And that is more than they achieved in the entirety of their last top-flight season. Sure, they will have their down moments, but Nuno has managed to craft a team beyond what came before. 8. West Ham fans probably never expected to find a place for Robert Snodgrass in their hearts. But, whatever his previous reputation, the man is a fine Premier League winger. His goal against Crystal Palace was his first for the Hammers, and it had been 705 days since he'd last scored in the top flight. It spoke for his improvement in fitness and form. Manuel Pellegrini hailed him as an ideal professional after the game, and one thing is clear: the Chilean trusts Snodgrass as part of his side. 9. Sean Dychex told Burnley's performance against Liverpool, kept the same team for the game against Brighton and was rewarded with a win and a clean sheet. That was their first victory in 8 Premier League games and only their third shutout in 18 top-flight matches at Turf Moor. Most importantly, Brighton's first shot on target only came in the 93rd minute of the match. Burnley's success last season came on the back of giving away few chances and blocking those that did come. The Brighton results showed they are edging back towards that. 10. Ralph Hasenhüttl has clearly got a job on his hands at Southampton. They are now without a win in all competitions in 14 games, their longest run since March 1989. And if he wants to find a place for immediate improvement, it has to be how they tackle the weaker sides in the Premier League. They have not won any of their last 9 matches against newly promoted teams. That is where a team like Southampton need wins if they want to avoid dropping out of the top flight. Mistakes like the one that lost them the Cardiff game need to be abolished.